the children or the younger ones around here. So let's do things accordingly. Let's greet, let's relate, let's connect, let's relate ideas together. And I believe that we are starting something great. A lot of us are having ideas in our mind that, how I wish I know how to code. This idea is something that can actually transform to cash or actually solve a problem for someone. So we are here now, and it's going to be a good experience, all available here for you. So we have people online, we have people that we are here together. So everyone online, I also respect you, I salute you for your courage to be here, and I pray that the Lord bless us all and give us wisdom to do all accordingly in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. So, I can't but appreciate the organizers of the boot camp. And as we all know, it's organized by the CSIS department of Landmark University as part of our contribution to the community to make sure that we are able to stay on top of innovation as things are changing. We have AI, we have a lot of things going on recently. So just to make sure that everyone is also at the top of things, so we bring this to us all. And I also want to appreciate the director of CSIS, the person of Engineer Femi Folarin is such a wonderful person. So it's been the power behind what we are doing here. So what are you going to be able to boast with after this boot camp? After this boot camp, you will be able to have enough knowledge for you to build your first software project. And when I say software project, the one that is not just a toy project, but the one that you can actually say, I have built this software, I have built this web app, come and use it. You can even be able to attach payments to it. You can, even from what we want to learn now, for those of us that are going for job, you can say, oh, I know how to do this. Can you give me this project? Can I apply to your company as a software engineer? So you live with enough knowledge for you to build application, a good one. So, and the person speaking before you here is Babatunde Daramola. So that's my name. I'm a software engineer. My handles are on the screen, so you can check it out. I've been a software engineer for over a decade now. So I've been doing software engineering, writing software. Presently, I'm building Zion Stack, which is a faith-based software for you to actually enjoy the faith life you love. You can check it out after the class, or you can check it out as we are discussing. Then I'm also working on refnode.dev. Refnode.dev is a web app for people to learn how to code. I love building software with AI. I love writing code. But when AI came on board, so it actually fired up the love again. So I'm deeply in love with coding, and I love writing code with AI also. So, and that's what I also want to impart into us, so that we can have more of good products and more people actually doing great as a software engineer. Well, I want to break a news for us, and I believe it's a good news. How many of us are ready to hear? All right. This boot camp is not free. So now that you are here and you are seated, those of you that are online, you're also here with us, so it is not free. So it costs 200,000 naira per seat. So as you are sitting down, so you need to check your account And I believe I have profs here, I have doctor, I shouldn't be afraid that you're not going to be able to pay. So it's just 200,000 naira per seat. So it's something very small. So the boot camp is not free. So everyone bring out your ATM card. I'm going to display the link now. I'll display the link so that you can be able to just enter your details and make payments. So are we set for the link? Sorry, I want to allow those people just coming in to just settle before we continue. For those of us, for the participants online, kindly pardon us. We want to have a settlement on site. So now, apart from the 200,000 naira you'll be paying, you also need to pay attention. So that's 2. Then you also need to pay a price of commitment. So what we'll do is to give you a discount. Because I already know that some people are thinking that, oh, is it like 200,000 is even small for the content of this boot camp? But we are going to give you a discount. So, and the discount is how many percent? How many percent? I won't agree with 100. Huh? 98? 99? All right. So let's do 100. So we give you 100% discount. So which means you are not paying money, but you still have something to pay. If you'll be going with something valuable from the discount, from the boot camp, you need to pay attention. Nothing goes for complete now. Nothing goes for nothing. You need to pay something to get some. So you're not paying money. We have given you 100% discount as per finance. Then you need to pay attention. Then you also need to bring on board your commitment. So, and with this, I believe by the end of everything, you'll be able to have like a good testimony towards the boot camp. So let's talk about software. For some of us here now, as you are sitting, you're already thinking like, will I be able to catch up with this thing I want to do? Anytime you mention something like coding, building software, it's always like this big picture that is very hard to fit into the head of any man. So, but I want to just tell you that building software is as simple as you eating ice cream. It's not more than that. Just get your ice cream and start eating it. It's as simple as that. Building software is as simple as you eating ice cream. So put it in mind that whatever we'll be doing here is not going to be hard. Very, 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 very simple. So, and I want you to operate with that mindset. The second thing I want to let you know about software is building software is SA. SA. You just tell the computer what to do. Then when you tell the computer what to do, you can then spend 6 hours to figure out why it actually did something else. I told you it's simple, but you can tell the computer to do something for you, but spend another hour to actually figure out why it actually did something else. And the reason is, part of the dangerous things about communication is you to assume that it actually happened when the message is not clear to the receiver. So, and what we are going to do, we are starting with theory for you to actually avoid this second part, so that you won't tell the computer, this is what you should do, especially with the availability of AI now, and you later start to figure out, why is it doing something else? Why is it doing something else? So there are some, we need to build our vocabulary to be able to communicate with the AI very well, so that it can be able to do exactly what you want it to do. Please, are you still following me? Please, are you still following me? So please, keep this thing in your mind. Building software is very easy as you eating ice cream. Then, second thing is, building software is essay. You just tell the computer what to do. Then, if you don't tell the computer what you do properly, you can spend a few hours to start figuring out why it did something else. So let's talk about software foundation. That's why that second part is what is taking us to actually discuss some things about software foundations. It's very, very important, because if you don't understand the language of the computer, you can't be able to tell the computer what to do. It doesn't matter what you're building. Please, are you still with me? Please, younger ones, let's try as much as possible to keep the house calm. We have elderly ones here, so please, let's keep everything calm. So, we need to talk about software foundations, and we start with what is software? When you hear software, software is a set of instructions that tells a computer what to do. And you must have seen some of the applications you use, like WhatsApp, Instagram. Some of us use Google Maps very well for navigation, for during driving. You have used online banking for those of us that are adults here. Then we have our school portal for landmark here. We have a lot of it. So these are softwares. And inside the software are invisible instructions that tells the computer what to do. That tells the computer what to do. So then we now need to talk about types of softwares. So the first one here is a website. A website is a software. How many of us believe that? A website is a software. We have web apps. So what's the difference between a website and a web app? A website is just a page that contains information. It's not interactive. You just go there, read, and go. You can't interact with it. There's nothing you can do with it. But a web app is a website that you can interact with. Possibly you want to like a post. That's a web app. You want to comment on someone's post on Instagram. That's a web app. Now, you have mobile application. Mobile app is a software that runs on your mobile devices. I have one here. So any application that is running, any software that is running here is a mobile app. Now, we have desktop app. Those are softwares that runs on a computer. Then you have embedded system. that is built into a device. So it's very, very important that I go through all of these things, because when we want to start using AI, if you don't know, I'm speaking English now, you are able to understand me because I can speak English. AI is very, very smart. Trust me for that. AI is very, very smart. There's almost nothing you cannot do with AI. But if you don't know the language, how to communicate, how to tell it to do something, you can struggle with it. And that is why even as much as we have AI available now, people are still not able to maximize it, because the language to speak, to talk to the AI is not readily available, or not everyone actually are familiar with it. So in this bootcamp, our focus is going to be on web application. Can someone say it? Web application. All right. So we'll be discussing on web application. That is application that can run inside your browser. When I say web application, just think of an application I can access via a browser, be it on mobile device or on desktop device. So now, when you talk about web application, so when you talk about web application, it's always divided into two parts. You have the front end and the back end. How many of us have used the term back end before? Back end, you just say back end, back end, back end, back end. So what does it actually mean? Now, a front end, you see, there's a user action here. The very first box here, there's the user action. So, and that user can be you, it can be me. You just jump on your browser and you type www.instagram.com or x.com. You press enter. The moment you press enter, your browser will be loading. So you just jump on something here. So what you see on the screen, anytime you type instagram.com, x.com, portal.lmu.edu.com, whatever you see on the browser at that point is what is called front end. That is what user can see. Whatever you can see on the screen is what is called the front end. Now, the back end. You know, when we want to start the boot camp, I said something. I said, where there is no rule or where there is no law, there is no sin. So, at the back end, that is where you keep the rules and logic and the access to the database. When you want to log into Facebook, you type your email, you type your password, and you press login button. It's going to roll and load for a while, and it's going to return to you and tell you that incorrect password, incorrect email or password. What just happened is that it goes to the back end, check logic, check rules. Who is having this email? Then what is the password for that email? Is it the same? Is it corresponding? If it's not, then take it back. So the back end is one that is doing the hard work. It's the brain of the application. So now, your database. Anytime you are able to log into a system or you do something on a system and you are able to resume back, it means there's a database at the back end. That is where the application keeps anything that should be remembered. If there's no need to remember anything, you just discard it. You enter and you just discard it. But if there's a need to remember that thing, the application will just keep it in the database. The application will just keep it in the database. So when you talk about your web app, we have how many parts? two, the front end and the back end. So if I just tell someone now, build an application for me, you should be able to now talk to the AI. I want to build an application that will be able to manage my eatery, maybe my food store for me. On the front end, I want the color to look like this. On the back end, it should be able to validate that the user is maybe at least 18 years old. Now, if I don't know that there is front end and back end, I won't be able to tell the AI that on the back end, do this. On the front end, do this. I won't be able to do that. So, and if I just say, I want to have an application to manage my food store, just build it, let this be this, the AI will just go and just come up with something that is very, very bad for you. And you'll be looking at, this model is bad. The model is not bad. It is the instruction that is bad. So, and that's why we are going through this. So let's see a few things we still need to consider more. So we now need to talk about building with AI. Now, previously, if you want to build a system, you write the code with your hand. But this time around, it is AI that is writing the code for you. Which means you don't need to know the syntax. That is, you don't need to know the style, the way to arrange words, the style of word, the order, like the language to communicate with computer. So you see that one is like a very hard part before. But this time around, as a software engineer now, I can pick up a project that needs that I write in Java. I don't know how to write Java code. I studied it at a time, but I don't know how to write Java code. I don't know C++. I don't know which other language did I not know. I don't know Rust programming language, but I'm building an application in Rust now. Why? Because AI is writing the code, but I understand the problem. So the problem, I still own it. So the fact that I can understand the problem, that one is gone. Then the judgment, the testing, and the responsibility behind it. So when you build application with AI, the only thing you are doing with AI is that AI is writing the code for you. And with that, you have unlimited power in your hands. Because there is nothing you cannot build. The fact that it is AI that is writing the code. Imagine, as a scientist, you understand a problem, and you know that this problem, this is the solution. And you can be able to explain it to AI. AI, this is the problem here. I'm a master in this field. This is the problem, and this is the solution. Can you tell me which programming language or framework that will be able to do this properly? And AI is very good. It's going to suggest for you those things or a way that you can be able to achieve it. Immediately give you those things, you can just proceed and give you the problem. You don't need to maintain the headache of writing the code. Many of us have attempted to learn Python, and maybe you do the first class and you are gone. You say, I don't think I can understand this. Some of us have picked HTML, you've picked maybe JavaScript, and along the way you just this thing is too, how will I be writing angle brackets around? How do I understand that thing? So don't worry, AI is very good. So don't think about that. Yours is just to understand the language to communicate with AI, and you're good. So now, let's talk about agents. So when you say AI, would you take question now, or maybe we can, okay, let's take the question now before we continue with AI agents, because it's like we are going to another side. So let me take your question, Ma.
Okay, so is AI helping us to write code?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. So when AI helps us to...
This thing is not working.
When AI helps us to write code, when your program runs into a problem,
Yes.
and you probably don't comprehend, you don't have a full grasp of Python, for example.
Yes.
How do you debug your code, your problem?
All right. So I was expecting this kind of question. So the question is, I told you that you don't need to worry about the code again. AI will do it. So she's now asking a question that, what if AI wrote all of the code and you ran into a problem and you don't understand Python? Let's say you wrote the program in Python and you don't understand Python. That is exactly what I want to teach in this bootcamp. So that you will understand all of the principles, so that when you run into a problem, even if you are building with any language, I told you I don't know Rust. I don't know how to write Rust programming language, and I'm building a software on Rust now. So the principle is the same. Once you know it, you can be able to apply it no matter what you're doing. Even if you are doing a machine learning project, you are building an AI product, whatever, the principle is the same. So you don't need to be afraid. So even if you run to a problem, I'll give you step-by-step approach on how to go about it. So we'll still cover that. So now let's talk. I believe that question is answered, ma'am. All right. So now, AI agents are AI systems that can understand a goal, decide what step to take, use tools, and perform actions to achieve that goal with some level of autonomy. I know I'm speaking a lot of grammar here. Forgive me for that. Yes, sir. So forgive me. Have you forgiven me? All right. So let me bail myself out. All right. AI agents are AI systems that can understand a goal. Now, note it. Understand a goal. It means you are the one to give it a goal. When you give it a goal, it's going to digest it, then tell you what it actually understood about that, then decide what step to take. It means that AI agent can think. Based on the goal you give, it's going to think and decide what's the next step here. You are going to see all of these things real life. You are going to see it. We'll do it practical. That's why I said you should get your own product that you actually want to build. Apart from the general product that we'll be building in the bootcamp here, I want you to also have one that is very dear to you. Maybe a game you've been thinking, I wish I can build this game for the younger ones. I want to build a game, or you want to just pick one, apart from the general bootcamp project. So now, use tools. If I tell you now, if I tell someone here now that you should send an email, what would you reach out to? You reach out to Gmail. Then if I say, play a music, what will you reach out to? You reach out to a music player. So if I tell you that prepare a slide, like the one I'm using now, prepare a slide, what will you reach out to? PowerPoint, Microsoft PowerPoint. Same thing, an AI agent can do that. Is capable, is that AI system that can be able to also use tools. You see, all of these things I'm mentioning, they are tools. PowerPoint, music player, whatever. As we can use it as human, AI agents can also use it. So an AI system that can be able to do that, to use tools, we can call it AI agent. Then perform actions. It can act on your behalf. Then to achieve a goal with some level of autonomy. Now, you see the use of the word some level of autonomy. It means it's not totally autonomous. So you need to also guide. That's where the security lies. So we have a lot of AI agents that we can use for coding. We have open code. I dropped a tutorial, a guide for you to install open code. We have Cloud Code, which is like the talk of the industry now. We have OpenAI Codex. We have GitHub Copilot. We have Cursor. Then we have, I didn't add here, we have Google Anti-Gravity. We have a lot of them. We have Zen. It's just too much. So I just brought a little here for you so that when you see them, you can be able to identify. So these are a few AI agents for coding. It is important that I talk about this thing so that when you want to start building, you'll be able to follow it step by step. If you don't follow it step by step, any step you jump in this, in this life cycle, will come back. You will see the effect later. So we need to talk about that. So when you are developing a software, it always runs through like a, should I call it a flow. So the first thing is for you to discover. Now, what do you discover? You discover the problem you want to solve. You discover the problem you want to solve. Any app, any product you're building that is not solving a problem is actually, I won't regard that product as a good one. So you must identify a product you want to a problem you want to solve. I want to build an application that can enable me to play music in my own way. That's a problem. So I want to build an application that can enable me to be able to open a particular document format. Thus, you discover what is actually the problem you want to solve. Then, the next step is require. So now, what is required to build these products? For instance, let's say you just go to ChatGPT and you type in the chat box, I want to build an application that can enable me to play music in my own way. The next question is going to ask you is, or the next response is going to give you is the requirement. For you to build this kind of application, you need to use a programming language that is a low-level programming language, something like maybe C++ or C, or any of the low-level, or Rust, or maybe any of the low-level language. It's going to give you the requirement. What is required to build that kind of product? So you need to gather your requirements. So once you are done with requirements, the next thing you go for is design. So design is when you arrange how your application will be laid out on the front end and as well on the back end. Can you see the reason why we need to talk about the front end and back end the other time? So this is where you arrange and structure how your application will look like on the front end and as well on the back end. On the back end, that's when you talk about database design. That's where you talk about your code arrangement. Don't worry, AI is very good at all of these things I'm telling you. So you just need to be able to articulate yourself, and that's why I have to discuss it like this. So that when you want to build, you can be able to tell AI, let my database, design my database to be scalable, design my database to be atomic. All right. Apologies, you forgive me again. I've used another technical language. So, have you forgiven me? Can I press forward? All right. So you'll be able to tell your AI agent, AI coding agent, on what to do, how you should design the front end. You cannot tell AI agent, I want the front end to look like, to be a minimalist design, use a natural black, use maybe a pink color, maybe it's a fashion application, use pink color as the primary color, and let this and all of those things. So you design, you design what the front end and the back end will look like. Then the next thing is that you start building. So this one, I don't need too much of explanation. That's the action point. You start building. That's when you now tell the AI, start building, then it starts building. So when you are done building, after every phase of building, you need to test. You need to test. And what is testing? Testing is just for you to be sure that your AI, that the AI actually built what you ask it to build. That's when you confirm that, oh, the button, when the user clicks the button, I want the entire word to be big. Then AI is done building. Then you now click the button to be sure that the word is expanding. And if the word doesn't expand, after clicking the button, you go back and tell the AI, you are adamant, you didn't do what I asked you to do. Follow. You force it. You know, when you are building with AI, at times, it won't do what you want it to do on time. You need to stay on the neck of that AI agent and say, you must do what I want you to do. And that's part of it. So you can tell it, I want the database design to look like this. An AI agent will go and just do something annoying. And it's going to come back to you very confident. It's going to tell you, I'm done. Very, very confident. AI never says no. It won't tell you no. It's going to be doing wrong thing. And it's going to do it confidently. It's not going to tell you that this is it to do it confidently. So it's now for you to know that, oh, it's doing what I want and what I actually don't want. So deploy. So you deploy. Deploy is nothing more than making it available for your users to use. You put it on a platform where people can access your application. That is deploy. So you deploy it, you make it accessible for people. Then you improve. You come back again and you improve. So this cycle will continue over and over and over and over and over and over till there is no room for improvement. And I believe in life there will always be room for improvement. So you continue to improve your system, you continue to improve it, you continue to improve it, you continue to improve it. So if you want to improve, maybe you want to add another feature, you come back to discover again, you require, you design, you build, you test, you deploy, you come back, you do like that. That's just how you'll be running around it. So, and I also want to emphasize that in all of this, building is just like one part of the engineering itself. It's just one part of it. So you can see all of those steps. So, and what most people often do is they just focus on building. And that's why you see some kind of stories online that, oh, my vibe coded app is exposed security-wise, or it can't scale and all of that. That's just building. They just focus on building. So there's no actually a, focus on going through the entire life cycle. So I want to believe what we are discussing is not that boring to you. All right. So let's just go through it. We need to do this. Like, I always ask myself, when they always teach us calculus then, I will ask, like, why are you teaching me calculus? Until I start to engage with some things, especially in machine learning, some machine learning model, the way they work, you see that it is math that is behind it. So if you don't have that kind of exposure, you will always ask, why are you teaching me calculus? Can't you just allow me to rest? So please, if I'm stressing you too much, forgive me for now. Then you see the value as we progress. So now, as you build application, there are few things I would want you to note and put in mind so that it will not come back to haunt. There's something called feature creep. I don't know how many times I'm going to ask for forgiveness of sin here, because some of the term I'm going to be using they will be technical. So, but I'll try my best to explain. Feature creep is a situation whereby when you have your application idea, you only have in mind to build 2 features into that application. But as you begin to build, you have not completed 1 feature, another idea just flow, or you say, oh, my application should be able to do this, and you are still building one, you have not completed it. Another one came to your mind again, you now say, oh, I will add this feature, I will add this feature, I will add it. Before you know it, you will not be able to even complete that application. You see, that occurrence is what is called feature creep. And that's why I don't know if maybe for some of our elderly people here, maybe you've given a product to someone, help me build this application. And as that person is building the application, you always have idea of what the application should be able to do. And maybe after 1 year, you now tell the developer, you have been working on this product, you have not completed all this. Why? It's not the fault of the developer. It is the fault of the owner of the product that always bring in feature every time, feature creep. So now, how do you solve that? When you have your application, build the smallest useful version of it. When you want to start your product, you want to start building your app, build the smallest useful version of it first. Every one of those, every other feature, I don't know how many of us have gone through the requirement for the app we'll be building. Have I posted it? Oh, I'm not sure. Maybe I will open it now. There's a section there that I said, possible feature, but we have MVP. That is minimum viable product, minimum viable feature we actually use. So build the smallest useful version. When you are done with that, you can now go back to the first stage of your building cycle and go and pick the first step again. You discover, then you require, you design, like that, till you deploy. So avoid feature creep. Then the next thing is coding too early. When you have a product idea, don't just jump on coding. At least, define the problem and who is going to be the user. If it is yourself, define it. If it's going to be an external person, define it. Let's say I want to build an application that will enable people to be able to learn English better. That's a problem. Then who is going to be my user? Oh, it's going to be students. Students of which category? Then you begin to, till you get to the actual users. So you need to define. Don't just jump on coding, because when you jump on coding too early and you don't define all of those things, you come back and restart again. Because you end up building a product that is not useful. And if you are using a paid AI plan, you have wasted token. And tokens are not cheap. They are not cheap. We are going to use a free AI agent. We'll use free one. So you don't need to worry about that. So, but if you are using paid, and paid are also very powerful. If you are using paid and you have built a wrong product, that means you have wasted money. And let's say you have used a token that maybe worth of like 60, 50, or 100,000. And you now discover that you have built a product, a wrong product. So what now happens to the money you've wasted? That's gone. You can't go back to OpenAI to come and to go and tell them that, I'm sorry, I didn't know. They won't listen to that. You can't go back to Anthropic. Anthropic is the owner of Clockcode. You can't go back to them and go and tell them, I don't know, I built a wrong product. Can you refund my token? You can't go back to Microsoft and go and tell them that I used GitHub Copilot to build a product and I discover it's a wrong product. Can you refund my token? They will tell you, kilo komi. They will tell you, what concerns me about that? So they won't refund it. So now, the next thing you need to avoid is blind trust in AI. Blind trust in AI. You know, when AI generated code for you, you don't just trust it blindly. So now, polishing one part. You know, when you are building, the first thing you should do, you know, some people will try to, maybe, this button doesn't look like I expected it to look. So they'll polish, whereas there are some other part of the flow that is wrong. So if you are building, you build to complete the full part first. So that, for instance, now let's say you want someone to be able to register on your website, you should be able to click through to fill the form and submit the form. To fill the form and submit the form before you actually start, before you come back to start polishing the UI to look very beautiful. Then don't test too late. Test as fast as possible. Then don't quit at errors. This where I will answer part of the question Dr. Bolanle was asking the other time. Some of the behavior when you are building application with AI is when there is error, you just copy the error, paste it back to the AI. I have this error, fix it. Then another error, what are you doing? Listen to what I'm saying. Now, another error occurred again, you just copy the error, paste again. AI, fix this for me. If you build your application like that, you get to a point whereby you don't even understand anything again. And you will later need to go and look for a specialist doctor that can discover the deep disease inside that application because you bypassed. So when you have error in your application, what you should do is you read the error, copy it. You can paste it to something like GPT and say, I am building an application. I have this error. What does it mean? By the time you read 10 to 15 articles or comments that ChatGPT will give you, you start to build mental model around whatever tool you are using. You start to understand it. So you copy and paste, so you read, you observe. When you are done with the first two steps, it is then you now come to debug. Now come to debug your system. So we are done with the theory for today. So we'll go for practical now. So what are the takeaway for code editor? So please, everyone, let's go on google.com. Google.com. Please, ma'am. Please, any system you are using, if you are not using your personal system, please identify the system you are using today. So you just stick to that. Do you know how to open a browser? Mr. Soji? Where is AY? Mr. AY? All right. Please, help me assist those people. Ma? No. So, if you are on Google, just search VS Code. Okay, you have installed it, sir. All right. Yes. Let me open my screen. Yes, sir. Let me. I'm coming, sir. Let me open. Okay, you've downloaded it already. Okay. So if you've downloaded it, don't worry. But let's just. So can you all see my screen? So I'm on Google. So you can say VS Code. So you should see something with this icon. So once you're able to see that, just click on it, the first one. So it should take you to a page like this. So for those of you who have been able to download it, I sent a guide yesterday. So if you have done that, just follow as we are doing it. So let's download. So click on download for Windows. So then it should start downloading. So once it's going to start the download. So while the downloading is progressing, so let's do another one. This one is loading. The download is loading. So, and I want to believe it's also loading on your own end. Yes? Charging. You didn't bring charger. Okay. Mr. Soji, please. It will come to attend to you. It will come and attend to you. Both of you. Yes, it will attend to you. Yes, it will still work. It will still work. You have it. That's okay. So if you have VS Code already, no problem. So now let's download the second software we'll be using. So open a new tab, search Open Code. Open Code. Open Code. OPEN, then code. Why is it off? Get another one. Open Code. So you should see a page like this. Then you click download. Page, so you click on download. So then do download for Windows. Is it done downloading? So can you install it? So install it. So once you click on download, so the download will start. So then one is done downloading, so you can install. So I will open it now. So everyone, we can take our attendance. So, and I'll demonstrate the way for us to take the attendance. So it's a Google form. So you just go there. Short. So this is the link for the attendance. So I'm going to paste it on the WhatsApp channel now. And if you can pick it up. So now what you do, please, it's very, very important for us to note this. The name you start to use today should be the name you registered with. And if you can't get the name you registered with, please put the proper name. And let it also be the name you would want to see on your certificate. That's one. Then second is the email address. This one is very, very important. It should be the email address you use for your registration, because that's what is unique that we're actually going to use. So the email address, then the phone number you also use for your registration. So please, let's do the attendance now. The link for the form is in the group, and if you can't get it, let me even do a short URL for it. Tiny. So you can use this link to also do the attendance. tinyurl.com tinyurl.com/LMU Bootcamp. So you can click it. Any of the two. You can go with any of the two. So I can see that some people have open code already. No, wait, you can't search. Wait. Just go to the URL straight. So open code is, I can see some people have open code installed. So please, while we're doing that, so open code, okay, is installed also. I'm seeing it, all right. So, yes, sir. We'll open the registration again now. Sir? No. Tiny URL. .com. So, have we, which one? It's, I didn't display it. I have it. tinyurl.com/LMU Bootcamp. Let me find a way to put it very bold.
times where I can charge my laptop.
I told you to, Mr. Soji, there's one. Oh, you can't enter that place.
And I have to register.
You've not registered
Yes,
already.
sir.
So for the attendance, so please let's note the email and the name. The email and the name is very important, please. So VS Code downloaded, Open Code downloaded. The link for the attendance, that's what we have on the screen. There's no way I can get. I just created the second one for peace. So by God's grace, we resume class tomorrow. Please, if you've not been able to do your setup, it's very important because I may not be able to go back to it again tomorrow because of our time, so that we can cover all we have to do. So it's very important. The attendance, you can do it on someone else's system. So the attendance, you can use, multiple people can use the same system just for you to submit the data. It's not compulsory that it doesn't require that you are logged in. Just fill the form and submit. No, this is not the link.
No, I've registered. I mean, find a mentor.
This
Skill
one,
Bridge.
yes, you can. I just post it for people to
But it's
explore.
like for us here now.
Yes.
We can't find it.
Yes, just it's yes. You can just leave it like that. So please, you can use the same system to submit for another person that is here. Then the email is very important. The email and the phone number should be the one you use for registration. If it's not the one you use for registration, we won't be able to track your attendance. So in like a few minutes before we actually close, I want to show you, apart from open code that we'll be using, this one is not compulsory, but you can do it to just have a walkthrough. So we have coders. This from OpenAI coders. We have anti-gravity. I use it also. We have anti-gravity, so you can download it. You can download it and explore. But the major one we'll be using is this open code. So please, let's start rounding up what we are doing. I believe tomorrow's class, so we are coming back. Two things that we should have settled with before coming to class tomorrow. One is your full setup for your PC. You should have open code and VS code and your GitHub account created before coming for class tomorrow. Then second thing is you must have your idea, your project idea that you want to work with, what you want to build, apart from the bootcamp project that we'll be building together. What do you want to build for yourself? So come with that idea tomorrow. So, and God bless us all. Email thank you register. Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Umbo. Sir? Yes. That's why we will set up everything. So we'll start working fully tomorrow. Yes, sir. tinyurl.com/LMU bootcamp. tinyurl.com/LMUIMU local. Do you know how many minutes we need? Close 30 minutes. I already open. Setup has detected as setup is currently running. Yes, it's currently running. Cancel, 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 cancel. Are you installing? Okay, see now. I started installation already. Yes, yes, sir. People that yes, now. So please, if you are done with all setup, if you are using the system in the lab, please identify the system you are using so that you can continue with it tomorrow. But it is advisable that you use your personal system. So please, if you are done and you've taken your attendance, you're free to go. So we are done for today. We'll come back tomorrow. Yes? Yes, you can. Yes, sir. So click install. Yes, sir. What else? Yes, sir. I've been trying to install it. Like, I'm not connected. Please, let's shut down the system. Once you are done with it, you can shut down the system. Please identify the system you used today so that you can continue with it tomorrow. If you use the system in the lab. For those people online, the attendance link is working. Let me show it again. Then for those of us having issue with registration, immediately after the class, we open the registration for till 3 p.m. so that we can register. There's a reason why we close the registration, because so that there are some other things we need to actually handle so that it can help us. We'll know what we should actually prepare for. So please, the registration, if you have not registered and you are in the class today, so please register before 3 p.m. Then the email you use to take attendance now, that's what you also use to do the what's it called? To do the registration, so that we can be able to track the attendance all together. Sir, when you want to do your registration, it is the email you use for this attendance. That's what you use for the registration, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, but know the email you use to register. You can go on. The registration is closed now, but you can go on. Yes, sir. Okay. Yes. No, it will be open by what? It will be open after the class till 3 p.m.
Thank you. Well,
What's your name?